Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another Starcraft2 commentary, this time a game between Liquid HuK spawning as the blue Protoss and Gosu spawning as the red Terran. Trying a little bit something different in this game. I have been experimenting with picture-in-picture as I did get a new video editing software, and I wanted to try something that I don't think anybody's done yet, and that's show you an entire game, not only my point of view, the caster's point of view, but also HuK's point of view, one of the top players in North America, and really just interested in seeing where his screen and where his eyes are during different parts of this game, especially big battles, whether he is microing his units during the battle, whether he is back home macroing up and adding more units, reinforcements. So going to have the first person view of HuK in the bottom right hand corner for the entire game. So hopefully you're able to follow the action in the game as I cast and describe what's happening, as well as follow a little bit of what HuK's doing in the bottom right hand corner. Again, it might be a little bit overwhelming if you try to follow both, but especially at key times in the game, during battles, when he's scouting, when he figures out what his opponent's build order is and might react to that by throwing down a certain building. These are all things that you can pick up real time as you watch both my point of view and HuK's point of view. So pay attention to that. Let me know how you like this style of casting in the comments, as I will continue doing the pro gamer first person camera if people enjoy it. So we see HuK opening up pretty standard here with a pylon and gateway. Gosu opening up with a barracks at the front of his ramp. So he's going to deny, if he can get a quick marine out here, any sort of scouting. HuK is going to have that probe up into Gosu's base though, so we will be able to see the build. He will know that Gosu is already on a gas, and he is going to try to do a little bit of harassment against this SCV, but it will be short-lived as the barracks is producing the one marine, and it will be out shortly. That probe hanging back here wants to make sure that it can get additional scouting later on in the game. That's something a lot of players do not do. They scout initially around the 1-2 minute mark, and then they allow that scout to die, or they do not come back in around the 6 or 7 minute mark, and that's when you can really glean a lot of valuable information. See HuK responding, trying to micro away that probe and save it with 4 HP, so he will be able to scout with that probe once again. And we do see a zealot coming out for HuK. So something we see a lot of players foregoing in the early game is that first zealot, as they often wait till that cybernetics core comes out and getting out a stalker here. So it looks like we have warp gate tech and a chrono boosted stalker going to be denying any sort of scouting. HuK's checking for proxies up here, and we do see that Gosu is about to be on HuK's base with this SCV, and HuK has thrown down a fast expansion. So Gosu may be able to see this unless HuK can get this Stalker into position and take down this SCV. SCV taking one shot from that Zealot, but the Stalker was not in good position to intercept that, and Gosu will see that Nexus. Looks like Gosu is also going to throw down a command center in response to that. So Gosu had been saving a lot of minerals until he saw HuK's build, and once he saw that fast expand, which is something that Protoss players like to do against Terran on these big macro maps, he's going to throw down a command center of his own. Poking up here with that probe, HuK will see that command center, so he knows that he is going to be safe to expand here, and he's not going to have to pump out a lot of army, because Gosu's army will be small, as he does sink 400 minerals into this extra command center. The positioning on this map, quite interesting, as they are close positions by air, so we could see some Banshee play from Gosu. Doesn't look like HuK's going to do any sort of Stargate play at this point, but another thing that the positions do, as we see a Zealot poking in here, about to be taken down by the Marines. Looks like HuK's trying to micro away, and HuK has also placed down a proxy pylon and has a few more units coming in from his main, so trying a bit of a two-prong attack, hoping not to lose too much HP from these units, but it looks like this proxy will go down, as Gosu has quite the large army with Marines here. These Stalkers doing their best to pick off a few Marines, getting them low. No medevacs out on the field in this early game, so all this damage will stick on the Terran player. It looks like repositioning, trying to put that Marauder out front. Marauder's so good against these Stalkers, and HuK will retreat as soon as these Stalkers' shields go down. Does not want to take much HP damage, does not want to lose any of these Stalkers. Trying to come in with another Stalker up top, and picking off a few units here, or at least attempting to, and now going to be retreating as these units are very low on shields. As I was saying earlier, because of these positions, it really allows you to expand away from your opponent. If they were on a position here and then here, then you would have to expand towards your opponent, and it gets a little bit dicey. But with these positionings, you're actually able to expand away from your opponent and able to macro up pretty easily. So these roads and the towers will be quite important with these spawn positions as well, as you will be able to see all the movement of your opponent. We see Gosu coming in here, picking off that sentry. 2 force fields go down. Not much that they were doing though. And now we see these stim units doing their best to pick off these stalkers. Stim running out. He's got a restim here. It looks like he's going to do just that, but with no medevacs, these units are going to be very low on HP. He has a few more units coming in, reinforcing from his main, and looks like he's going to be DPSing this Nexus. Don't really agree with this. He should possibly be trying to take down an assimilator or a few probes. Now finally going to be doing that, trying to focus down these stalkers as well as soon as they warp out from HuK. It looks like HuK will be able to clean this up. So we saw about 300 damage on that Nexus. That could have been damage on probes, could have taken out about 10 probes there, instead of just pounding on the shields of this Nexus, which will regen. Now we see HuK moving out. He wants to poke and make sure that Gosu has created an army to defend himself, and it looks like Gosu has. So HuK may be poking here, reinforcing with a sentry. Sentry's so good against the Marines and Marauders, throwing down those force fields. And it looks like instead he will be retreating. Gosu placing a supply depot here, very smart. This is a good position for a proxy. He wants to make sure that HuK is not able to warp in units in multiple angles and attack them from 2 or 3 angles here. Looks like we have a starport coming out for Gosu as he did complete his factory. Throw up the production tab, forgot that. So no add-on prepared yet on this factory for that starport, so not really sure if he's going to go medevacs or what he's going to do with that starport. HuK again, good pylon placement there. He will be able to warp in units about halfway between the 2 bases. And now we see Gosu moving out again. His pylon also going to provide sight there. And it looks like HuK now getting out a robotics facility. So HuK right now, 1 robotics facility and these 3 gateways, and just producing off those. If we look at the army tab, 1750 now, 1850 for Gosu to the 1470 or 50 of HuK. He's able to take down these units so quickly. HuK had a split, trying to keep these zealots at the front of the line, make these marauders and marines kite backwards, and then the stalkers can do DPS. But it looks like the MM ball of Gosu going to be able to take down those zealots so easy without the zealot charge, not able to close that distance, and now able to clean up these stalkers. Probes having to be pulled off the line by HuK here, and again he just does not have much army, down to 375 compared to the 950 of Gosu. And now Gosu's got to come for some important structures here, taking down these stalkers and the zealots as soon as they warp in, and if he's able to take down this pylon, he could stop the production of this immortal. He could also take on a few probes. It looks like he's going to be going for the robotics facility, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get that down without more reinforcing units. We see stalkers coming in, trying to be focused down by these marauders. A few more probes coming off the line for HuK. Now this immortal has popped out, and it's going to be able to take down these low HP marauders very easily. Another set of stalkers coming in as well. Now the armies are a little bit more even, as HuK does have that immortal, basically the anti-marauder unit, and he will be moving out and pushing towards the front door of Gosu. Looks like Gosu is trying to establish a 3rd base at this point. HuK does have a pylon up here, perhaps taking a 3rd of his own. And it looks like HuK now retreating, could catch these units right here. It looks like we will have a stim trying to take down 1 stalker, but he is not able to take down that stalker, and Gosu will lose all those units. If we look at the army tab, 1200 to 850. Again, both players just lost a ton of units there, and now very small armies. Looks like we have a number of barracks coming in for Gosu at this point. If we look in the main, he is on 4 barracks in the main. Does have that starport landed on the reactor, so we will be coming out with the medevacs. And it looks like he's getting up another barracks here. He is about to complete this command center, and HuK is about to be on his 3rd base as well. HuK getting up a few more gates. Looks like he's on 4 gates at this point, and just the 1 robotics still. So not many production structures for HuK. Looks like we will have a proxy pylon coming in here, and this is out of sight of Gosu. So as soon as this completes, we'll see if HuK is going to warp in here. And again, this probe is just going to be really annoying. Looks like he's going to throw down another pylon here. So HuK is just, it's got very good sight. He does have this observer, and he has these pylons, and he's keeping Gosu relatively contained. Gosu, for his part, does have a rather large Marine and Marauder ball. If we look at the Army tab, 2750 to 2025. Income tab, both players on 63 workers, and very good economies. About to establish their third bases. Looks like we have a Viking coming out for Gosu as well. He might suspect that HuK will be on Colossus soon, and it looks like HuK is not producing Colossus yet. He is producing mostly Immortals, Zealots, and Stalkers at this point. We do have Zealot speed researching, and Gosu losing a few units here, and a little bit of a bad would-be